Hey, this is Darren Stack with Century 21, the Harrelson Group. I just wanted to shoot a quick video. I wrote down a few notes here on ways that you can actually be prepared for hurricane season. We obviously are in a tropical climate here, being that we're right along the Atlantic Ocean, and certainly the threat for any tropical system does impact our area. Obviously, from June through November, we are in hurricane season, so we always want to make sure we're fully prepared when it comes to having your house ready to go and you ready to go, just in case we do get a system that does impact our area. So first and foremost, the one thing that I want to make sure that we stress is making sure that you are covered as far as your insurance goes. Reach out to your insurance provider, go over some information about a what-if scenario, what would happen, what kind of coverage you have, to make sure that if we do have that tropical system come through here and it does impact you, how are you going to try to resume life back to normal if there is any kind of damage that may have occurred. Obviously, make sure you go through your wind policy as well as your flooding policy. Those are obviously the two big ones when it comes to the tropical systems here across the East Coast. The other thing, though, that you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure you have a complete list of all of your possessions. That way, if there is anything that does happen and any of your possessions do get damaged, that way you can present that to the insurance company, and that certainly can help getting life back to somewhat of a normalcy for you. The third thing that I have written down here is you want to make sure that you've at least taken some measure to prepare your home for the wind. Now, there are hurricane shutters out there that are quite costly, but they obviously do create a lot of extra protection on your home, and they even, for some insurance companies, will give you a reduced rate if you do have those hurricane shutters. Now, a lot of folks, obviously, that's a little bit too much of a cost. There is the chance of putting some plywood up, but make sure the plywood is going to be very secure, because if it's not very secure, sometimes that can actually create more damage and create projectiles for the wind to blow around as well if they do come off. So definitely want to make sure that if you are using plywood to cover up the windows, certainly want to make sure that they are going to be very, very secure and be able to withstand the wind. There are other precautions like hurricane glass, certainly for that extra protection as well. You want to make sure that the roof is in good working order and you're not missing any shingles or anything that could create some leaks, and always make sure that the gutters are cleaned out. That also could create some overflow of the water there. And take a walk around the yard. Notice if there are any dead limbs on some of the trees, or even some dead trees that certainly may need to come down. That certainly can create some damage to your house in the event that it does get blown onto the house by the wind, or even your neighbor's home. So you want to make sure you're keeping an eye out for them as well. So make sure you are taking a complete look at your structure, not just during hurricane season though, but you want to do this during all times of the year to make sure that, you know, if you do have any dead limbs, that they don't have a chance to come down on the house, even with some strong gusts. You always want to make sure that if you are going to ride out the storm, that you do have the proper supplies while you're inside the home, especially just in case the power goes out, maybe a backup generator, a supply of non-perishable foods, as well as some water, some clean clothes. You always want to make sure you are prepared just in case you are here to ride out the storm, because in the event that we do have something that knocks out the power for a few days, you want to be able to be prepared. And the last thing I just want to stress is make sure you do have an evacuation route already planned out with your family, just in case. It's always better to be safe, to be able to get out of here safely, and to be able to come back and have to take care of what you need to at that point, more so than try to evacuate during a system. So always want to make sure you're being prepared, as well as your home is prepared during the tropical season, during hurricane season, as well as all year round. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you to help you out with your real estate needs. I'm here to be your real estate resource. Again, Darren Stack with Century 21, the Harrelson Group. We'll talk to you soon.